Good afternoon. My name is Bate. I'm a trustee of CADASIL Support UK and a fellow CADASIL sufferer. There are many CADASIL related groups around the world. Some of you will be members of these groups in addition to CADASIL Support UK. The approach varies across the groups depending on the message they are trying to get out in the public domain. Our approach has always been to support people in their CADASIL journey. We understand receiving the news that you or a loved one has the condition is devastating. For many people, life will never be quite the same. But it's important to realise life doesn't end at the point of diagnosis, because almost without exception, people will notice little difference in the things we can do. The hardest part is adjusting mentally to having a disability and what you perceive lies ahead. This group was formed to help you, to support you, and gives you somewhere to go to discuss problems you might be having and to ask for advice. The group was originally started by Chris Mason. He had started the group as there was literally nowhere in the UK a person could go to for support. His mum had CADASIL and Chris had been diagnosed, although he was healthy and had no symptoms himself. Chris, our founding member, sadly passed away from a brain hemorrhage on the 3rd of September 2018. Karen was diagnosed with CADASIL in 2012 and searched online for info on CADASIL. What she found was shocking. There wasn't anything positive and it all seemed doom and gloom. But while searching, she found Chris and CADASIL Support UK. Karen is one of the trustees and administrators of the group. Karen met Trout in the group, and along with Chris, the three of them hit it off immediately. Chris asked if Jax would help administrate the group, and after a time, he also asked Karen if they would take on the roles of administrators, so he could have an extended break from social media. Jax and Karen agreed, and Chris took some much-needed time off. Sadly, on the 7th of November 2017, Jax passed away from cancer. The new group was set up on the 29th of August 2016 with Chris, Karen and Jax as administrators. The one thing they agreed on is that they wanted it to be a positive place of support. Some of the groups relating to CADASIL were plain scary for a person recently diagnosed, and neither Jax or Karen wanted the same experience for others. Some people had no filters and freely shared information that wasn't applicable to everyone, but scared the hell out of you. We wanted to change that, and we created a positive place where people could not only support each other, but to be honest without being frightening. In early 2017, Jax, Chops and Karen decided to make CADASIL Support UK a charity, and a formal application was made for charity status. It was hard work and it took time. We wanted to raise money to support Addenbrooke's and also raise awareness of the condition. We've been talking to Professor Marcus and Jess Walsh after Jax and Karen had both been referred there. As a result of the guys at Addenbrooke's, the first CADASIL conference was arranged and it was promoted in the group, and also our new public page, Raising Awareness. Jax and Karen met for the first time in person there, and Jax and Karen did the first presentation there together also. Charity status was achieved on the 20th of November 2017, 13 days after Jack's passing, so very sadly she never got to see something she had worked so hard to achieve. With charity status achieved, 2 new trustees were appointed, Chops Carter, Karen's wife, and Bate, a fellow sufferer. Marcus is a professor of stroke medicine and a consultant neurologist at Addenbrooke's Hospital in Cambridge since 2013. Prior to this, he is Professor of Neurology at St George's, London. He has a long-standing clinical and research interest in CADASIL. Soon after the discovery of the CADASIL gene by the Paris group, he set up genetic testing for CADASIL in the UK. His research into CADASIL has included better ways to diagnose it, and a better understanding of what factors make the severity of CADASIL differ between different people with the gene. Due to his knowledge with CADASIL, his involvement with patients and his worldwide respect, there is nobody else we would have asked to become patron of our charity than Professor Marcus, and we are so happy that he accepted our offer. Each year we hold a conference at Addenbrooke's Hospital. Although last year, due to COVID restrictions, we held a virtual event as we will do this year. These events would not be possible without an enormous amount of work by Jessica Walsh and more recently Amy Jolly. These conferences have been very popular. They provide an opportunity to hear Professor Marcus and his team bring everyone up to date with the progress in research and also listen to the invited guests from around the world discuss CADASIL. Also, people from CADASIL Support UK have presented, talking about various aspects of their lives and how they are affected by CADASIL. In addition to being trustees, we are also administrators of the group, and we are joined by Sophie Jones as administrator, who delivered an excellent presentation at last year's conference. With the many people who contribute regularly to the group, we have a fantastic team. From quite small beginnings, we have grown to 872 members from around the world and consider ourselves one of the leading groups on CADASIL support. Membership is open to anyone who suffers from CADASIL, carers and people who work in the medical profession. We regularly raise money to fund research into the condition at Addenbrooke's and promote awareness of the condition. This is a really important part of our work because we know that unfortunately as a rare condition, some doctors have never heard of CADASIL and will Google the condition in front of the patient. I hope this presentation has been useful to you and to understand our work as a charity. The work will be ongoing until a cure is found. Sadly, that is some way off, but we can all help raise funds to support Professor Marcus and his team. So far, we have donated £12,500 to the CADASIL Research Fund at Addenbrooke's, set up and maintained the website. Over 15,000 leaflets have been produced and delivered not only to GPs and hospitals, but also supermarkets and football stadiums. Finally, my final thought is one day we will defy the odds and CADASIL will be something in the past.